what they identify as, not who they sleep with, not who they love, not what's in their pants.
Right. So, and to that point there, every person has immense value. I believe every person is fearfully and wonderfully made, just like what I said. Doesn't mean that every person is right in their thinking. Somebody with anorexia has a mental confusion of what their body is going through. And by the way, transgenderism is a mental illness. It's called gender dysphoria. It's called gender dysphoria. That's what the scientific community has said for many years.
Was made that way by God.
No, I don't believe that in one bit. I don't
Well,
believe
we
that.
agree to disagree.
Absolutely, and that's why we're having these conversations. I'm not saying that
Why
you
are
can't
you
disagree.
demonizing
I'm not demonizing that.
You are.
You say things like beast.
Yes, there are.
If you go back and you look at the DSM criteria for diagnosis, saying things like beast is demonizing children.
Absolutely.
The people that, like, I'll use that example, the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. Those people have an agenda. They have an agenda. They have an absolute agenda. They're pushing it into our society. They are trying to get people who disagree with their lifestyle to accept it, and they're not being tolerant. They're saying, you're going to accept this, and we don't care what you think. That's not tolerant.
But how are you being tolerant by saying things like beast?
I'm saying those people should not be doing that. That is a beast-like move when they're pushing that down society's throats.
Christianity and everybody shoving Christianity down everybody's throats.
Who's shoving Christianity down everybody's
You are.
Lots of Bible thumpers in the Midwest.
Listen, I have no problem if you want to go a completely different direction and worship however you want to worship. I don't care.
But this has something to do with worship.
But what I'm
This has
saying
to do
is,
with idealism
when
and how they love.
that's right. And so what is happening right now? There are state dollars, federal dollars being used to push this LGBTQ agenda. Do you agree with that?
San Francisco choir.
Yeah, right. Are we in San Francisco?
I understand that, but you would say we don't want federal dollars or state dollars
Gay
pushing the
men's
Christian
chorus
agenda,
pushing
correct?
it, or the federal government?
That's the question. So shouldn't these agendas be separate from the government mechanisms?
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not asking you that question. What I'm asking you is, how can you justify demonizing that community?
I'm not demonizing that community.
You did.
I'm calling out the people who are pushing that agenda forcefully
And I'm calling
down the throats of people who don't want
And I'm
it.
calling
That's not
you out on the
demonizing
same
them.
thing.
That's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
I'm
I'm
calling
judging
you.
them.
But can you need to change your rhetoric, sir, please?
I'm saying that again. I'm sorry.
Could you please change your rhetoric then? Because when you're saying things like that on Facebook and on the news, children see that.
Yep.
And they feel like they're not worthy. So maybe you, as a father, a parent, and a role model to the state of Indiana, need to change your rhetoric, because children are seeing that and they look up to you as an example. And as a father, how are you setting a good example by saying things, by demonizing these people? Yes, you
did.
You say
No, what I'm
things
doing
like,
is lovingly sharing the truth. If I love your child, I wouldn't speak the truth. I wouldn't care to. But I believe that there's something better out there for this community. Now, you may disagree with me. That's fine. That's fine. You can disagree with me. But if I believe that in my heart of hearts, would it not be unloving if I didn't share that with people? I have an obligation to share the truth with people. Do I not?
so that our children are safer.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Sarah, and I'm gonna keep speaking truth. I always do it in love. Your child is valuable, and I will always defend every human being's value. Yeah.
Amen.